Many years after his passing, still one of the most respected political figures in the country, Nelson Mandela once said, "Do to the ANC what you did to the apartheid government. If the ANC fails to deliver to you the kind of freedom that you want and the kind of prosperity that you seek in the country." And I think we have gotten to the point where we have to do this. And to be quite honest, this is not just an effort that has to come from only ANC voters. This is not an effort that has to come from only black people, only colored people, Indians, or white people in South Africa, but it has to come from all South Africans. Now, before I go further with this video, I notice every time I make a video and I don't tell people to subscribe, less people subscribe. So if you're watching right now, please do me the favor, subscribe to the channel, like the video. And I've gotten some donations. I really appreciate those. I've paid my internet bill because of these donations. So I really do appreciate them, and it helps me to bring more videos. So I'll leave my banking details in the description for any donation that you see fit to this channel. I'm also putting a zero point 0.5 VAT increase on the on the donations. So from just 10 rand to 10 rand 50, and then whatever amount you feel comfortable. So to go back to the words of Nelson Mandela, where he says, "Do to the ANC what you did to the apartheid government." I think now it's a message that has to go to each and every South African citizen that is concerned about the direction that the country is taking. This is a obligation and to be a collective effort. This has nothing to do with ideology, has nothing to do with your skin color, has nothing to do with your religious beliefs. It also has nothing to do with where you stay in the country. Now, here's the thing. I do not have full access, well, that much access to the elite and the rich of the country. But part of me thinks to a certain extent they have a bit of a bubble that they may be living in. This is clear when you see it with the political elite. They live in a bubble where they cannot even see that their own terrible work is leading this country into a terrible direction. And they just keep on making decisions and more decisions that lead this country into a terrible direction without care. And sometimes I wonder if it's just without care or they're really just oblivious or they are aware and they just don't care, which I think the latter is more dangerous. But lesi sokuyiso nesikhathi sokuthi sisuse wonke amanyala. Kuyona naka uxosha lichila. It's time to remove the rubbish that is our political leaders at the moment. And I have to say, I'm directing this towards the ANC mainly, more than anything. I'm directing this to people, us, me and you. We are having a VAT increase, whether we like to admit it or not, whether they like to be clear about it or not. 1st of May, we are going to have a VAT increase. Despite all the recommendations that the other political parties that have voted with them think that the ANC is going to take. We as South Africans have forgotten who we are. We have forgotten that we are the people that were able to stand in front of armed police officers with live rounds, with armored vehicles, with just stones and petrol bombs, fighting for the liberation of the country. We have forgotten that we are those people. Now, I don't expect this to be something that particularly people from the white population to relate to whatsoever. Some people don't even think that it is possible. Some people may have never witnessed this. And even when they see videos of these things happening in the past, it just sounds like something that is out of a movie. But if I may speak for the majority of the country, which the majority of the country is the poor, is black people and colored people, we have forgotten who the hell we are. People who are absolutely capable to stand in front of a gun with a live round, well aware that if a shot comes out and it hits me, I perish. Well aware that this is dangerous. With dogs being sent to human beings as if they are not human beings, with people being tortured days on end, for months until they get paralyzed or they perish. People getting hanged and people still not giving up on the struggle. That struggle as a battle it was won. But I think now, more than anything, it has become more clear to me that we just won one battle, but part of the war is actually not done. It is not done. There's a new struggle now. And the new struggle is the political elite that is absolutely unaware that their decisions are absolutely killing people, literally killing people each and every day by the way in which they have allowed crime to get out of hand, by the way in which they have allowed service delivery to be so less, like, not even subpar, to the point that it has led to a very sad state of poverty where education that is being provided is intentionally so bad that people cannot be able to get to the point where they can lift themselves up, access information, and see things for what they truly are. And now, more bad decisions are being made. Now, there are some policies that many people may agree and disagree with when it comes to what the ANC has done now in the GNU, which was supposed to be this high and mighty, glorious coalition for the country, which is proven to be opposite to that. I made a video 3 months into the GNU saying that I don't think the GNU is doing anything. And to me, it looks like they're not going to do anything that really significantly improves the lives of people on the ground. And many people in the comments had told me that just give it time. Give it time, it is too early. But not even a year has passed since I made that video. And I still maintain the GNU has done nothing. It is doing nothing that is significantly changing the lives of people in a good way. In fact, it is just changing it in a bad way. Some people were people who had jobs, now they don't have jobs. But I have to say, even though there's the bit of the GNU that can sort of take responsibility or blame, we can also give most, if not much, yeah, majority and most is probably the same thing, yeah, to the ANC. But I want to flip the coin. The responsibility is on the people because we are allowing this to happen. We are allowing it to happen. And I know right now there is somebody who's watching this video thinking to themselves, yeah, the people who are voting for ANC, they are brain dead. That even you are the problem. Even you. Because instead of you focusing on solutions, you want to focus on the fact that the people that have voted for the ANC or political parties that you don't like are brain dead or are a problem. You are complacent, you are also a problem. And this is why I'm saying that this is more of a collective thing. It has nothing to do with the fact that you are an MK party supporter, an EFF supporter, Freedom Front Plus supporter, DA, ATM, Bossa, ACDP. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with humanity. It has everything to do with you as a human being, living as an ordinary human being in the country. You may be middle class, you may be rich, or you may be just slightly below the middle class line, but still considered poor in the country. And you feel that your life is a bit more comfortable. But with the majority of people in the country's lives being very uncomfortable, rest assured it affects you. I've said it so many times in many of my other videos. Just because you think that you are living comfortably does not mean that the people who are not living comfortably in the country, some way, some form, do not affect you, because they are affecting you. You see it in crime. If you don't see it in crime, you see it in the state of our hospitals. If you don't see it in the state of our hospitals, you see it in the state of the roads that you drive your fancy car on. Even if it's not a fancy car, you do see those problems. So without pointing fingers at who is wrong in terms of the citizens of the country, we have to point fingers to the people that we call leadership, because what we have essentially done is put people in leadership, and these people are not doing what they should be doing as leaders. And what are we doing as the people that put them in leadership? We just sit down, complain, consume Mavimbela's videos and other people's videos, and comment in the videos that, yeah, it's disgusting, we are tired, they must go, but we're not actually doing anything. And sometimes I realize myself, which is why you will see, if you go back to the history of the channel, you'll see sometimes there's a week of not posting. Sometimes there's 2 weeks, there's 10 days, sometimes even a month. Because I always have to get to the point of asking myself, am I really doing enough if I'm just making videos? And sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes the answer is yes. And then I come back and make the videos. But right now, VAT increase is coming. Food is going to be more expensive. The poor are going to feel more restrained with the little money that they have. And where do you think they are going to try to get more money out of? Now, obviously, I'm not speaking for the majority of the poor people, but there is going to be a group in the poor people. And that group, even if it's just 1% increase in people that want to turn to crime, that is a very significant number in a country where the crime is already sickening, in a country where you already don't feel safe. And let me tell you this, as a person who believes themselves in their self-defense capabilities or their escaping capabilities, if I am alone, escaping sometimes is probably easier. If I'm alone and a crime is about to happen to me, provided that people are not armed with guns, I can fight my way out of that situation. Not without injuries, but I can fight my way out of the situation. But if I'm with my daughter, who's only turning 3 years old this year, has absolutely no skill, no ability to protect themselves, and even to be able to see danger before it comes. If I'm with her, I'm unable to properly protect her and escape at the same time while trying to fend off criminals. And I have to consistently think about such things. And you think that you are not affected by the direction of the country and where it's going. You see the ANC supporting a political party like ZANU PF in Zimbabwe and what ZANU PF has done to the country. And you think that they don't realize how bad things have turned in the country, but how good things continuously be or are for the politicians. You can even look at Mozambique, which is currently in conflict. People are dying there. It's a mini war zone. These are just our neighbors. As Mozambique is a drive away. It's a drive away. If you drive at six, if you drive out of South Africa here in Gauteng, if you drive out at 6 a.m., by 5 p.m. you should be in Mozambique. It is not that far. It's To me, Mozambique is closer than what Cape Town is. And things are happening in Mozambique. The ANC is silent and even supporting the government of that country because they see the politicians continuously live a comfortable life. So that is possible for them in this country too. And if it takes them convincing all the other political parties, greasing them up how they greasing them up and ruin their reputations because they're not big enough to recover from that ruined reputation and still retain a little bit of the voters that they still have, they may be able to run the country indefinitely because the voters of the country, including the politicians, are not doing enough to ensure that we show these people that they are no longer wanted. They are no longer needed. They were needed maybe in the first 10 years, but they should have probably been gone. There was no way to foresee what they are going to do. And in the comments of my videos, I even see other video creators, especially on the the right political spectrum, they want to call it, or if you want to call it, talking about how sanctions are coming to the ANC. I saw Rev herself making a video, speaking in a sense of pride, as if that is going to do anything of a significant difference. It does not matter if USA decides to sanction ANC. They can do that all they want. It is not going to make a difference. And this ANC people know this for a fact. They do not need USA. They do not. USA, as much as it is an influential country, it is not influential enough to dictate what a political party should do in a country. It is not powerful enough to change the ways of a political party. And if you think that is possible, then you are just not paying enough attention throughout the whole world. Just our next door neighbors, Zimbabweans, the Zimbabwean leadership, ZANU PF, has been sanctioned by USA for a very long time. The country has been sanctioned by USA for a very long time. And the politicians continued business as usual. Very comfortable lifestyles. Big black SUVs, silver SUVs, supercars in a country that probably doesn't have enough petrol, in a country where people do not have enough money to catch a taxi, and you think just because USA is going to come and sanction ANC is going to make any difference? No, 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 no. Don't get yourself too excited. The only thing that is going to make any sort of changes is me and you, the people of the country. And when I say me and you, I'm talking to you, an 80-year-old white woman. I'm talking to you, a 60-year-old Indian woman. I'm talking to you, a 50-year-old colored man. I'm talking to everyone. I'm talking to you, a 20-year-old black man who's watching this. The only way a difference will be made in this country is by us, the people. Because we, the people, are the ones that have allowed through our vote, of course, allowed the politicians to be where they are. And only us are able to remove them from where they are. If the vote has not woken them up, then we need to take more radical measures. If you look at the French people, say what you say about the French, they do have a history of being terrible people, especially to Africa. But but that is the government in any case. But the people of the country know how to protest. Yeah, they're really good at protesting. From the days of the French Revolution, they're really good at protesting. South Africans are also very good at protesting. And we have forgotten that superpower that we have in protesting. And I always ask myself, when did we become so cowardly? Sifike nini isikhathi siqale nini ukuthi sibe amagwala kanje? Because we are not. Are you a coward? As you are watching this, are you a coward? No, you're not. On the point of ANC being sanctioned by USA, and some people will say, well, the Japanese, the communists, yeah, the Russians, they also must go. No, these people are in business. They understand this is a global economy, whether you like it or not. And in a global economy, it does not matter who you get your minerals from to improve the state in your country. It does not matter. Now I'm speaking from a purely business perspective. And because in this country, it's more of what we could call, is it libertarians? Sometimes I get confused between all these people, libertarians, capitalists, whatever, man. But the very same countries that some people may want to have influence in South Africa, such as America, such as Britain, these very same countries, in other countries, they have done it the same way that you would not want to happen in this country, by leaving the people suffering indefinitely, as long as they get their minerals, as long as they get their exports, whatever that may be it agriculture, be it people, be it the resources of that land. And there's no country outside of South Africa that holds South Africans' best interest except South Africa and its people. Every relation in trade or in aid is a tit for tat. I give you something, I get something. That's all there is. It's all transactional. Trade is better than aid, obviously. Obviously. But I'm digressing a little bit. There's just too many things running through my mind rather. The time for us South Africans to not just speak through the vote has long arrived, and it's passing us. And as it is passing us, the politicians are sitting on their big chairs. I'm sitting on a small chair, this foldable chair. They sit on these big, comfortable, probably warm and massaging chairs that speak to them. I don't know. And they're just looking at us, saying, huh, the peasants, the poors, they think they have any kind of influence over us. Or they're just not even aware. They don't give a shit. Excuse my French. Some people have a problem with swearing, but can't help it sometimes when you're being passionately angry, And I think South Africans are angry enough. You remember I made a video very recently, probably 3 videos ago. I said that South Africans are not angry enough. I think South Africans are angry enough. I think we are. I think most people are angry enough. There's just one thing that is not happening. We are not channeling that anger in the right direction. And we have sort of become more of social media activists. And that is a problem. No amount of petitions that we sign are going to make any changes. None. Because at the end of the day, a petition is just an online form where people put in their names and signature, and nothing of significance is going to happen from that. The only way that changes can be really influenced is if we actually affect these people's pockets. And the way we affect these people's pockets is by protesting. And when it comes to protesting at the same time, it also has to be done in an intelligent way. You don't go into your own community, pull a group of people, protest in your own community, and bend down infrastructure in your own community, such as schools, libraries, clinics, or hospitals. That is not effective. Mm-mm. It's not effective. I guess what is more effective is what the French did. They went with their tractors, went to parliament, all the political offices, and left shit there. Manure. But let's call it what it is. They left shit. To say that this shit that you see here at your doorstep represent the kind of work that you've been doing. And maybe you might have to be that radical. You might have to be that. Uh, there's homeless people living at the union buildings who are continuously getting removed at the union buildings. That is parliament, guys. That is parliament. If the politicians are unaware that there are homeless people in parliament, do you think that they are going to be aware of what is going on 45 minutes drive away from parliament in your township, in your suburb, in your semi suburb? Not really. Not really. We have some of the most useless people in government, in politics, in parliament. And I have to say it right now. It's not just an ANC thing, but it's all of them. And within all of them, unfortunately, including the ANC, there's some really hardworking people who really want to do good work. But unfortunately, those people who want to do good work that are within the ANC have to fall with the vermin. Fodder. I wonder what fodder is. But anyway, those people have to be removed with that, then probably get recruited by other political parties. And while we are at that point, understand that no political party in this country, as they are, will make such a difference that they are going to save us from where we are going as a country. It's incumbent upon us, the people of the country. Think about that for a while. That's just the last point of the video. Like, subscribe, comments. I'll see you in the next video. Salute.